All right, I think I'm live. Let me double check. Hey everyone, it's CEO Kelly here. It's been a while. I went live on my public page. Usually I'm going live in my business on my Facebook Alpha Female Sisterhood group. But today I was really inspired to share something. Um, so I want to talk to you guys, but let me just give me 1 minute so I could share this inside my Alpha Female Sisterhood group. So if you are not a part of Alpha Female Sisterhood group, you should consider joining because I do a lot of Facebook Live and free coaching, and there's a great community of women interacting. So if you're not part of it, you're missing out. So check it out. But let me just do that really quick. And then I want to talk about this clarity, about seeking clarity. Hold on. Okay. Okay. So I want to talk about, clarity. So a lot of time I get people seeking clarity, right? I want to change something in my life and I don't know how to go about it. I need some clarity. I know I want to accomplish something in my business or in the work I do, but I don't know how to go about it. I need some clarity. I don't know what I want to be when I grow up, so I need some clarity. I think I want to expand my business, expand, my vision, but I don't know how to go about it. I need some clarity. So clarity is like a really popular word. In fact, I do a clarity coaching. Hey, Megan, so glad to have you here. Thank you for joining. Um, so clarity. I looked up a definition of clarity because I thought it would be helpful. There are many definitions, but that one that resonated with me was, um, where is that? A quality of being certain or definite. Quality of being certain and definite. So that's what we're seeking. So oftentimes people who are seeking clarity, you know, what I want to do, how I want to grow, how to get started. I want to change. How do I make a change? I have so many options. I could do this, I could do this, and I could do this. I don't know which one's better. And my message today is, we don't get clarity from thinking about it and analyzing it and overthinking it and weighing the option. We actually get clarity from doing things. I think a lot of time people get stuck in thinking it, right? Because it's so overwhelming. And if we're seeking clarity, we want quality of being certain or definite. Basically, we want certainty that we will not fail, right? We want certainty that this is a right path to go, meaning it's not a wrong path, meaning it won't fail, it won't lead to disappointment, it won't lead to failure, disappointment, pain, suffering. So because we're afraid, so because we have this fear of failure, or fear of wasting our time, fear of embarrassment, whatever fear, right? We just insert, fill the blank, right? Because we have this fear, we are constantly thinking and seeking clarity. So, some of the reasons I think, well, let me just share why I don't think thinking leads to clarity. Number one is overwhelming, right? It's just like constantly thinking about it, this voice in our head, constantly running scenario. Should I do this? Should I not do this? What if this? What if that? The options. It's just overwhelming and it's all in our head. It's all in, and maybe you talk about it with your friends, you talk to your coach. Chances are you probably don't have a coach if you're challenged with clarity, but you talk about your friends, talk about it with your loved ones, you're constantly thinking about it, but it's just so overwhelming. There's nothing comes out of it because it's just sitting here. And when we want results, when we want to create something, when we want to manifest what we desire, it needs to be something tangible, right? It needs to be something we could touch, something we could sell, something we could teach, something we could talk about, something that makes us money, something that brings us in front of people so they can experience it. It needs to be something tangible, but it can't just live in this space, right? So that's why thinking doesn't bring you clarity, it just overwhelms you. Another reason that thinking doesn't bring you clarity is it tricks us into thinking we're doing something. Just because we're thinking about it, analyzing about it, coming up with scenarios about it, and talking about it, maybe writing about it or journaling about it, but it's all process of thinking. It's exhausting because you're expending a lot of energy. It's expending a lot of energy. It's taking up a lot of time, taking up a lot of energy. So we trick ourselves thinking we're actually doing something. So so by the time it's actually time for us to take action, we're just too exhausted. Like, oh my god, like I've been working so much about this because in our mind, because we're expending so much energy, we think we're doing something, but we're not. We're just running this program, running this sound over and over and over. So let me know if this resonates for you, or if you don't agree, just comment, or you could interact with that. So, and then the third reason I don't think clarity really comes from thinking is that when you're thinking to seek clarity, you honestly never know. You will never get to knowing the certainty or definite if it's going to work, it's not going to work. You'll never know. So when you're just sitting and thinking about gaining clarity, awesome, Megan. Yeah, I'm dropping some truth. It was coming to me. Yeah, so we'll never know. So you're going to be just constantly thinking and thinking, seeking clarity. I want some clarity. I want to know, but you'll never know because there's no proof. There's no outcome. There's no action. So that's why I believe personally, and this is the work I do with my clients, I'm really passionate about when you take action, when you're actually doing something, that's where the clarity comes. The clarity does not come from thinking, clarity comes from doing. So we have to do something in order to gain some clarity in the direction we go. So usually the where we get stuck into seeking clarity is this, right? The point we're in here, it's point A. So we're in point A. So this is a point A. Point B is here. Like you want to get to point B, and this thing is like not clear cut. Maybe some people you have a little bit more clear, but some people are not. It's just kind of point B is here. It's just like it feels good. It has a vision. I could kind of see myself. This is where I want to go. But then the distance from A to B seems so far or so unclear. You just don't know how do I go from point A to point B? Sometimes it's not just point A to point B, right? It's like point A to point B1, B2, B3, B4. You're not sure. So you're on point A, but there's like all these things. So where we get stuck is how do I get from point A to point B? And my tip in actually getting clarity from doing something is really simple. We have to come up with some type of a baby step toward point A to point B, but you're not going to go this far. So we just from this point A, we just need to take one baby step toward point B, just a baby step. And when you take that baby step and do something, some clarity will come. I guarantee you, right? Because when you actually take action, there's an outcome, right? There's a cause and effect. So when you actually take an action, there's some type of a result, right? There's some type of result. It's just three-way. Number one, it's fantastic. You love it. It's a success. I'm like, oh my God, this is so great. This is so great. I got a clarity. This is it. This is the way to go. So you're gonna get that. The opposite, another result you're going to get is it's a total bomb, right? It sucks. That was terrible. Fail. Like I did not like it. Like I'm never doing that again. That's a clarity. Or third, it will be something in between, right? Something in between. So it's like, oh, this part it worked out, but it didn't work. This part out it didn't work out. Or I like this part of what I did, but then the results on this one was not. So I know next time I want it differently. I would change it differently. That's clarity. So if you take action, whatever the outcome, whether it's success, whether it's a failure, or whether it's a lesson learned and something in between, I guarantee you it's 100% clarity you're getting, right? So you will get clarity from it. And then from that point on, you take another baby step, and then you're gonna have a clarity again. It's either yes, it's gonna either fuck yes, fuck no, or most likely like between the fuck yeah and fuck no, like yes, but maybe this, or no, but maybe this, and it keeps you moving from the point A to point B, just a little baby step. And it may not go like this in straight line. It may kind of go like in spiral in kind of weird way, but you will be moving closer and you will be gaining clarity. So Megan says, it reminds me of when we're a baby learning to walk. If we just thought about it, we'll all still be crawling. Bravery, action, stumbles, edit, growth. Yes, yes, that's exactly right. We have to take action. So how do I take action? So let me kind of give you a couple of tips that I think it's really beneficial for us to really take action. Number one, you need to have some idea on this point B. So if you're completely unclear on that point B, we need to do some work. Maybe you work with a coach, work with a mentor, or really work with people in your network to really help you some clarity. It doesn't have to be a point B, but you need to come with like point B-ish, or maybe point B1, B2, B3 scenario. At least you need to kind of have an idea about where you are now, where you want to be, right? You don't, it doesn't have to be crystal clear. Again, right? We're not seeking like the crystal clear, the clarity will come when we take action. So right now, but you need to kind of have a destination in mind, at least general area. So we need to, so number one, get some type of a destination in mind. Have an idea where that point B needs to be for you. Or maybe point, because eventually maybe point B turns out to be like, oh no, and maybe you go to point C, but you won't know you need to go to point C until you start going toward point B, right? You'll never know point, so point B, so some type of point B. Number two, choose a baby step action. So when I say the clarity comes from action, take a baby step, not like a major step. So a major step example of that is like, I'm going to put this thing, put everything on point A, spend all this money on this thing, put all in, go all in and go crazy. And like, that's taking major step. Baby step is more like, I'm going to explore this, or I'm going to try this, or I'm going to like play around with it, or I'm going to at least start creating it and how it turns out. So that let's try and see, that's the baby step, or maybe in between, but don't take major step, take a baby step. So it's up to you. Ask yourself, okay, I'm on point A, this is where I want to be in point B. What is a baby step I can take right now that's going to get me just one baby step closer to point B? At least it's going to move this direction. We're not going to stay here thinking about it and just get really comfortable being in point A. No, what baby step is going to take me moving to that direction a little bit? So that take baby step toward that direction. And then number three, I kind of touched on that, bring in the energy of kind of playfulness, exploration, kind of like, let's just try and see, that kind of mindset and energy. So I want you to have this more playful, more detached energy toward it, or mindset toward it. What I don't want you to have is like, oh my God, if this baby step doesn't work, like it's life or death. Like, oh my God, it must work. If it doesn't work or it works, like it means X, Y, and Z. So really resisting the temptation to be so attached to the outcome of those baby steps. Chances are, if you're taking baby step, it shouldn't be that scary, right? So you shouldn't be so gung-ho about the outcome. But if you notice you are, You need to work on releasing that and bringing more energy of like, let's just play, let's just see, let's just create, let's just try, let's just, let's just do it and see. So more of a playful exploration, trial, like non-attachment, like kind of a casual dating, right? Casual energy into it. So that's number 3 tip. Now, the fourth tip is I kind of touched on that again. Do not self sabotage your progress. So, what I mean by self sabotage is don't go in there anticipating failure. Well, it's not going to work anyway. Well, CEO is saying I should take a baby step. All right, I guess I'll do it. Or, or you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, but it's not going to work anyway. Oh yeah, that B is never going to work. But I guess I'm going to try it just to prove me wrong, right? Because then because your intention and your energy is huge factor in manifesting what you want. So don't go in there anticipating failure or disappointment, or you're just going through emotion. You're not really in it. You're just taking a baby step because so you're doing it for someone else. You're not really, your heart's not in it. So that's what I consider to be a sabotage, energetic sabotage, intentional sabotage. Maybe you don't realize it in your conscious mind, but you are sabotaging it unconsciously. So be really mindful that you go in with happy energy, trial energy, fun energy, the play energy, and don't do it if you feel any sense of like obligation or should, or it's gonna like it's gonna fuck up anyway, or it's what I mean, like that type of energy. If you sense any kind of those feelings or thoughts entering, then don't do it until you work through those. Then those you need to work on releasing. There are a lot of techniques you could release. You could journal, you could talk therapy, you could talk to people, meditate, like whatever you have to do, but don't take action with those type of energy when you feel it, because then you're going to sabotage. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. Clarity comes from action. It doesn't have to be major action, just baby step for that direction of your point B, direction of the destination you want to go. And knowing that whatever outcome that action brings in, success, failure, something in between, you're going to get clarity, 100% clarity. Yes, no, something in between, you're going to know. Then you take another baby step with those knowledge, with those lessons. Then you'll know. And that's how you get to where you want to get to. This is how you manifest. Big part of manifesting is not just about thinking about it and dreaming about it. The third step, major step of taking manifesting is, wait, so I'll just go over. Manifesting 3-step process. Number 1, you need to ask universe. You need to ask universe for what you want. So which means you need to have the intention, understanding what that point B looks like, what it feels like, what you want to get results for. So getting that, right? Number 2 is taking action. Right? You got to do something. You can't just sit here dreaming about it and thinking about it. You have to take action. This is what I'm talking about today. And then number 3 is detachment to the, you got to stay detached. You can't be so like white knuckling about the outcome of what you want to manifest. This is what I mean by playful energy, explorative energy. Just let's see, because when you have such attachment, that kills your manifesting mojo. But those are the really 3 steps, asking the universe for what you want, taking an action, baby steps, playful energy, and then staying detached from the outcome so you don't go all like stressed out and self-sabotaging and overthinking and bringing all the fearful and crazy energy, and then that's just going to kill your manifesting mojo, and then you don't get the results. There are all other things around it too. There are a lot of things you can learn to help you through that process, but today I wanted to talk about, if you're seeking clarity, take an action, baby step. If you're seeking clarity, make sure that you do something. If you need help with that, I have a special clarity coaching offer available. So message me or comment here. I could share that information. So that's what we're going to do in our session, right? We're going to explore and get some clarity on where your point B looks like and feels like, what are some of those options. And then you are going to come up with an action plan on that baby step or two, maybe one or two baby steps, depending on your readiness. Action plan on how you're going to take those baby steps, and then make sure that you take those baby steps. And that's how you're going to gain clarity. Clarity coaching isn't something that you sit down with someone and then I tell you what to do. That ain't coaching. The coaching is you're going to come up with your destinations to a degree. You're going to come up with your baby steps, and you're going to take those action and get the clarity you need. Anyway, I'm rambling now, so I'm going to let you guys go. I think if you're in Alpha Female Sisterhood, I'll probably come back in today and do more Facebook Live there. Um, so I want to talk about Clarity Coaching offer if you're interested in it. And then I also have a membership site, but I'm not going to talk about it. I already talked too much. So I'll talk to you guys another time. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Megan, for commenting. Have a great day. Bye.